Hi everyone, and welcome to the Knit California podcast. My name is Leslie. I'm a knitter and knitwear designer in Southern California, and in today's video we are going to be talking about everything that I knit in March. So grab your own project to work on, grab something cozy to drink, and let's get started. I've got both of the pups here today, at least for right now. They both wanted to be here, so we'll see how long this lasts. They both are vying for my attention, but we have got a lot to cover here today because I have worked on a lot of different projects here over the month of March. I will say also today is Sunday, March 30th, so it does pain me greatly. I was gonna say a little bit, but like greatly actually, to be making this video while I still have a day and a half left in the month of March that I will be knitting on stuff and spinning on stuff. And like there is a potential for me to I could finish a project if I really wanted to. I'm gonna try not to finish said project over the next 2 days so that it doesn't confuse me when I go to make April's video. I will wait to finish it in April. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. But I do have a finished object to talk about. One finished object that I finished in March. I have talked about it in videos that I have made in March. So if you've been keeping up with my podcast, vlog, chat videos, you will have seen this finished object. I do have a half finished object, which is very exciting, something that I actually just finished this morning, so that's new. And then 1, 2, 3 knitting whips, one of which is new, that the vlogs have not seen at all yet, so that's exciting, and a new spinning project. Hold on, do I need to talk about, my March spin? We'll talk about my March spin also, because that's part of the new projects that you haven't seen yet. Spoiler alert. We will then go over my Yarn Enthusiast journal for the month of March. I'll show you my scrap box update, Shadowbox update for my scraps for the month of March, and we'll talk a little bit about what is upcoming for the month of April. So, lots to get into. I'm really worried about my camera battery life, so the audio video quality may change halfway through this video. I may have to switch to my other camera, but let's get into it. Let's start by talking about my finished object from the month of March, which is my Palm Springs tank. You know her, you love her. This is my third finished Palm Springs tank that I have knit. If you have not seen one of my Palm Springs tanks, hi, welcome to the Knit California podcast. This is a design that I am working on. It is currently in testing. The pattern is set to go live at the end of April, and yes, this is the third one that I have knit up. The 3 that I have knit up have all been in different yarn bases. That's why I am working on knitting up so many of these. So this one specifically I have knit up in a 100% superwash merino yarn. The yarn specifically that I used for this is from Dusty Yarn Co. Like I said, it's a 100% superwash merino yarn. It is her classic fingering weight base, and the colorway is called Daylight, based on Harry Styles' song Daylight. I love it. Oh, just hit myself in the glasses with my hanger. Yeah, I love this color. It's one of my soft summer colors from my, color palette. It looks really great. I've worn it a couple times. It fits really nicely, and yeah, I'm just overjoyed with how this tank turned out, how it fits, how the pattern is going. An update on the test if you haven't, well, I've given an update on the test pretty much in every episode for the last couple months, but the test is still going really, really well. A lot of the testers are working on their second Palm Springs tanks, which I'm just so like happy about and so proud of. Like, I don't know, I think it just really says something about, not to like get braggy, but about how great the pattern is if people are willing to knit it twice back to back, you know? They loved it so much they wanted to knit it twice. So it just makes me really proud. I'm really happy. So I'm really happy about it. I knit the size extra large, although my gauge was a little bit tighter on this one, so it ended up, the measurements came out a little bit closer to the size large, which I am okay with. The design itself is meant to have negative ease, which means it's meant to sit tighter on your body. And the design is meant to mimic those like basic tank tops that you would see at like Old Navy or Target or one of those stores. Those are like the types of tank tops that I like to wear all summer long, and that's what I was really inspired by when I was dreaming up this design. So, like I said, this is the third one that I knit, and when we start talking about what my plans are for April, you may see another one on my to knit list. So I don't think I have much more to say about this right now. I've talked about this a lot, and when the pattern comes out, I will be talking about it a lot more. I'm gonna do another video dedicated specifically to the Palm Springs tank, where I'll talk about, you know, all of the sizing, all the details, all the schematics, the yarn choices, blah, 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 like I do for all of my designs. So if you want all the details about it, wait for that video to come out closer to the pattern launch date at the end of April. All right, okay, let's move on. Let's get into my whips. And let's start with my half-finished object, which is my socks. I've been working on this pair of socks since, oh gosh, February 3rd. I cast these on, and I am dubbing them my Evermore socks because the sock set that I'm using is from Sewrella yarn, and this is her Evermore colorway from her Taylor Swift collection. And this morning I finished knitting the toe of my Evermore socks. Over the last couple of weeks, I had really been working up the foot of the sock. Really during meetings, I was just knitting away, knitting away, knitting away. I really started focusing on this as my like meeting knitting. I don't get a chance to knit during like every single meeting that I'm in when I'm working from home, especially if I'm on camera. Sometimes I feel like I can knit, you know, under the camera, under the screen. Sometimes I don't feel like I can do that. But there are some meetings where I'm off camera, or sometimes I'm just, you know, in a phone call with one other person, and I'm off camera, and I know it's gonna be a long phone call, and I will have an opportunity to just like knit away. And that's really where I've had the chance the last few weeks to get the foot of this sock done. And then this week I had the opportunity to start the toe, and this morning I was like, I gotta get this finished so that I can talk about it as a half-finished object in my March podcast update. So here's my sock. I tried it on. It fits really well. I'm really, really happy with how I am perfecting my like basic sock formula. I'm basically using the I'm So Basic sock pattern by Summerly Knits, and that's what I have used for the past few socks that I have knit, but I have been modifying it to basically fit my foot better and better each sock that I make. So I've been changing the numbers for both the cuff and the foot, both the number of stitches and the number of rows, to figure out, you know, what is going to fit me best and what I'm going to enjoy wearing the best. And it's just getting better and better every sock that I knit. And yeah, this one is the best so far. So I'll just give you a little bit of a rundown on what this is in case you're interested. I really think that, like, you know, everyone needs to find their own, you know, perfect fit numbers. So like my numbers are not going to be the same as your numbers. Like my leg, ankle, and foot are going to be different than your leg, ankle, and foot. So, and like height preferences for the length of the sock. So, you know, take this with a grain of salt, but I'm knitting this on 2.75 millimeter needles, which I think like that in and of itself is probably a larger needle size than what a lot of people use to knit their socks on. But I'm a tight knitter, so like I'm happy with this. I cast on 66 stitches, and I do 10 rounds of a 2x1 cuff, and then I switch to the main color and I'll do stockinette stitch. And in the first round, I'll do 2 decreases to get down to 64 stitches. And then I knit 42 rows, so that gives me about 3.5 inches for the leg. And then I do my heel flap and gusset, which I did 30 rows on the heel flap. And then for the foot, I also have 64 stitches. I found that that worked for both my leg and my foot. And I did 50 rounds for the foot. And then I did my toe, decreasing from that 64 stitches down to 14 plus 14 is 28. Yeah, and then I grafted it together. And it fits really nicely so far. So once I finish the second one, you know, I'll wear them for a little bit and I guess see if well, I'll probably cast on another one right away, so just so that I have my meeting knitting, unless I have, you know, like another stockinette project that I can work on as meeting knitting. The thing is that like right now I don't have any other stockinette projects, so like I really needed this. But yeah, I want to wear these for a little bit, see, you know, make sure. Lillipup's trying to like pull a blanket out so she has something to lay on. I want to wear these for a little bit, see if there are any other changes that I want to make to my formula or whatever. But yeah, I'm really excited about them. And then anyways, I cast on my second sock so that it's ready to go. I'm really happy about it. I guess that's the advantage of not having any other stockinette projects on the go, is that I finish my socks. So, alrighty, there's my sock. Okay, let's move on and talk about my next project. I want to talk to you about my Loch Ness cowl. Okay, I've been making some pretty good progress on my Loch Ness cowl. Dun, 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 dun. It's so long! Okay, so let me give you the deets on the pattern because a lot of information here. I am combining 2 patterns here. The pattern for the cowl shape itself is the Infinity Doodle Cowl by Jamie Lomax. She's at Pacific Knit Co. And I got the pattern out of the Doodle Knit Directory book. And then the Colorwork pattern I got from the Beneath the Waves sock pattern by Annabeth is Knitworthy. And I modified the Colorwork pattern just slightly so that it fits the stitch count of the cowl. And yeah, I'm knitting this up because I'm going to Scotland at the beginning of May on a Scotland knitting tour with Rachel is knitting, and we're doing a Loch Ness tour, boat tour, and I was like, obviously I need a Loch Ness monster, Nessie, cowl, infinity cowl to wear on our Loch Ness boat tour. Come on. Come on. Okay, it just makes me so happy. Okay. I have now completed 7 of the pattern repeats. According to the Infinity Doodle Cowl pattern, I have the correct number of rows. However, my gauge was not correct. So I'm going to do, I think, 2 more pattern repeats. So what you're supposed to do, or what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to twist it. So do the twist, and then, you know, sew it together here, right? So if I did that now with where it's at, right, I don't think this is going to be big enough, right? I don't think my head's gonna fit. I mean, I think it could fit in here, but I think it would be really, really tight. So I think I'm gonna do 2 more repeats, and I think that'll be the perfect amount. I'm gonna, like, you know, do this same pretend fold up after I do 1 more repeat, because 1 more repeat might be okay, but I really think 2 is going to be perfect. So we'll see. I don't think I blocked the first 3 here. Obviously you can see how nice it looks compared to the rest of this. I don't think it blocked lengthwise very much, so I don't think I'm gonna, like, I don't think it's gonna stretch very much. It just, like, really, like, flattened out and, like, looked nicer. So I don't think that's gonna be, like, a huge thing. But yeah, that's where I'm at. The yarn that I'm using is Superwash DK. The green is Sewrella yarn, Alpine. This was from their winter tonals. And the blue is from Flower Garden Yarns. She's no longer dyeing yarn, but it's this gorgeous, like, Glacial colorway. And I do have more of this. I think I'm going to need to wind up another skein, because obviously I only have this much more left. And I need to do 2 more repeats and the grafting of the 2 sides together. So, but yeah, I can knit 1 whole repeat in a day. So, like, you know, theoretically, I only need 2 more days of knitting on this to get it done. I guess I can do 2 more repeats in, like, a weekend day. It takes me, like, all day. I'm not gonna, I don't work on this during the weekdays. I mean, I could do it, like, after work, but, like, after work, I'm tired. I don't think I can get a whole repeat done after work. But yeah, it's not, I'm almost done with it. This is the one that I'm almost done with. Like, I could finish this tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow's Monday, so that's not gonna happen, but Anyways, that is my Loch Ness cowl. I've been working on this all month. I've been making a lot of progress on it. I picked it back up this month, and I blocked it. I mean, this was, yeah, at this time last month is when I decided to pick this back up and block it. And so then all the progress that you see on here, from here down, these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of that is my progress from this month. So I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of myself for picking this back up, for working on it, for like not being afraid of the color work anymore. It's going really well. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about my next work in progress, which is my Midland cardigan. My Midland cardigan, where was I at the beginning of this month? At the beginning of this month, I had all of the body done and I was working on the sleeves. And I just need to finish the sleeves and then I needed to do the button band. And where we are now is we are working on the button band. And we've been working on the button band for like the last 3 weeks. We're still here. Alright, the Midland cardigan is a pattern by Penrose. The yarn that I'm using for this is Explorer Knits and Fibers, a non-superwash DK, and the colorway Barrel Age Sour. I have, okay, if you take out the button band, really enjoyed this pattern. Knitting the body, knitting the sleeves, super enjoyable. Garter stitch, the construction is really interesting because it's all knit from side to side instead of from top to bottom. That part I really enjoyed. The button band has almost made me cry. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, so we know that 4.5mm and 4mm needles are too large for me in the button band, for knitting the button band. And so I went down to 3.25mm needles, and I am worrying that this is too small. I made a decent amount of progress on this yesterday, and I think it's pulling up, and it's really hard to show you. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see. I'm going to do my best. I mean, you can kind of see that it's bunching, right? It's not sitting flat. I wish I had another hand. My camera battery is flashing. But like the bottom ribbing is not flat, and it's curling because I think the button band is too tight. So my thought on this is that 3.5mm needles is really the correct needle size that I need to be using. Because 4 was too big, 3.25 is too small. It's got to be 3.5 or 3.75. I'm thinking it's 3.5. I also think I've been like knitting like really tight on these needles. So I think if I just like, I don't know, knit not as tight on 3.5, like maybe that's the ticket. I don't know. if I show it to you from this side, maybe you can see better. Like, can you see how it's bunching also from the back? I think you can a little bit. I don't know, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I was too sad to rip it out yesterday, but my gut is telling me that I do need to rip it out and go up to the 3.5, so please don't feel bad if that's also what you are thinking if you're seeing this. I like need the reassurance that that is correct. So like, and why I'm hesitant is because, like, if I block it, if I stretch it, like, it'll lay flat, right? So theoretically in blocking I could stretch it and it would lay flat, but I don't know if it would stay that way. Like, over time it could just like go back and then like shrink up, and I wouldn't want that. So that's why I'm hesitating, but in my gut it is telling me that the 3.5 is correct. So yeah, let me know if you could tell anything from me holding it that way. It's really hard to see, so would love another person, some more people's opinions. Okay, I have one more whip to show you. I've got to change cameras, and then we're going to talk about my new shawl. Okay, we are going to talk about my new shawl. Yes, I'm on a different camera now, so if it sounds a little bit different, that's why. In the last podcast vlog chat, I was talking about how Rachel from Rachel's Knitting, my friend, was telling me that I needed to cast something on with my latest hand spun yarn, and I was resisting, but she was like, no, you really need to. It's gonna be the best serotonin knit project ever, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with it, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll do it. And it turns out she was right, because this project is actually like the only thing that I ever want to work on. It's really the only thing that I have been working on this week up until like this weekend, when I had to like frog part of it back, and so it had to go in the timeout corner a little bit, and then I had to pick up some other stuff, but I'm having so much fun with it. So let me show you. I am knitting up. Okay, here's side one. It's hard to see on camera. Okay, and here is side two. Side almost looks better if I don't like puff it out as much. It looks so good. Okay, so this is called Diatom. I was trying to pronounce it all French last week because the designer, I'm pretty sure, is French, but diatom is not a French word. It's actually the name of like an algae or something. I looked it up. I was like, oh, maybe it like means something really special and like cool in French. No, it doesn't mean anything. It's just like an algae. Which, like, whatever, that's fine. But anyways, it's a brioche shawl, a 2-color brioche shawl with some eyelets, sectioning off each of the different sections, and the edges are gonna have a little picot edge, and it's technically written as a DK weight shawl. I started out using a DK weight main color, purple color here, but it turns out that my hand spun is definitely not DK weight, and I had to switch over to using an Aran weight for my main color because this is absolutely an Aran weight hand spun, which is totally fine. I'm just like slightly modifying the pattern a little bit, like not doing as many of the repeats to, you know, otherwise it's gonna end up being like huge, and I don't think I'm gonna have enough yarn. I only had 2 skeins of this Aran weight yarn. So yeah, that's where I'm at in terms of like modifying the pattern, but I'm having so much fun with it. Like watching the hand spun color side come to life and seeing all of the like color changes here has really been so much fun, and it's so beautiful. Learning brioche has been really fun. I've done brioche once in the Cowl cardigan. The detail edge on the shoulder is 3 brioche knit stitches, and so I was like, okay, yeah, I remember this, but I hadn't really done brioche pearls. I've never done 2-color brioche before, so you know, doing the main color and then sliding your work back to the other side of the needle so that you could work all the stitches again with the contrast color. That's all new to me because I've never really done like mosaic color work knitting either. I think that's the same type of deal that you do in mosaic. So a lot of new stuff going on here, but like this is really the only thing that I want to work on. Like I've been coming into my craft room / office early in the mornings before work so that I can do a couple rows on this before work starts. Like that's how much I want to work on this. I like don't really do that with any of my other projects. And I'm really enjoying it. I had a whole another section here that I had completed, but I had to frog back. So I also learned how to frog and pick up stitches in brioche, which was crazy. But basically I had made a lot of mistakes, and one mistake that I just couldn't live with was I had done an increase in the wrong stitch. So you can kind of see, maybe, there's a column in the middle here, and that runs up the like spine of the shawl, and then the 2 columns to the side of it are where you do the increases. And so it actually looks like there's 3 columns that runs up the spine, and then everything else shoots off from those 3 columns. And I had done a couple of the increases coming off of that main line in the middle for one side, and it was really bothering me. It wasn't right. It wasn't gonna look right. I had also somewhere in that section missed an increase row and had like made up for it. I just like did multiple increases in a different row, which that didn't really bother me. I was gonna keep going with that. And then I had also messed up the eyelet row, which I was also gonna leave that, but since that other mistake I couldn't leave that, I decided to frog back to below the eyelet row so that I could fix all of it. And that's where I am now. I redid the eyelet row, and like 1 or 2 rows past it, and gotta keep going from there. So that is Diatom. If you have to just type in Diatom on Ravelry. If you type in Diatom shawl, a different pattern comes up. So just FYI. And the hand spun that I'm using for this is my March finished hand spun. And this is the Cesium yarn Mamma Mia hand spun that I made, and it's going really well. One of the like interesting things about this is like this yarn has a lot of like, I don't know, like kinks and stuff in it. Like it wants to curl up a lot and like back on itself. Like it's not perfect yarn, but like as I'm knitting with it, like here you can see, like it just curls back in on itself. But as I'm knitting with it and like in the knit itself, like that isn't an issue. So I guess I'm glad to see that even when, you know, it's in cake form, you can still see all those little curls and all these pigtails and stuff. Like I was really nervous that that was going to be a really big issue, but in knit form it's not. So whew, dodged a bullet there. Yeah, as much as it's an issue on the spinning wheel, in skein form, and in cake form, in knit form, it's not. So that's great news. Yeah, so I don't think I have much more to say about the shawl itself. I do think I'm gonna have to figure out, I'm gonna have to like add extra increases or something to get it like wide enough if I'm not gonna be doing as many repeats in each of the sections. So yeah, I don't really know. I haven't really gotten that far yet. I don't know. Oh, the other piece that I did want to tell you, the purple yarn, the Aran weight yarn that I'm using, this yarn is from Ireland. This is, I don't know, it's just called Irish Aran yarn. I picked this up. We had walked into just like a shop in one of the villages that we had visited. We had stopped there for lunch. It was actually in Kenmare. And we had walked in and they had these baskets of yarn right under the window at the front of the store. And we were like, oh my gosh, there's yarn. Like it wasn't even a yarn shop. It was just like a regular shop. And so I just bought 2 skeins of this purple Aran weight yarn and I was like, I have no idea what I'll use it for. Look, I'm using it. Isn't that so special? So that's exciting. And it looks great. So I want to finish this before Scotland and wear it in Scotland. I think it'll be really nice. So, all right. So that's my last knitting project, and that was my spinning March finished object. I want to talk to you now about my second March spin that I'm currently working on, because it's like halfway done. So this fiber is from Sam at Clockwork Fiber Co. And I got 2 braids from her. This one that I have already spun up is called X's and O's. And it's this gorgeous light pink and like periwinkle color on her rainbow cog fiber. It's like a rainbow tweed fiber. And it's just really, really soft and pastel and pretty. And I'm really, really happy with my spin on it. And then I'm halfway through spinning up this purpley pink fiber that I'm going to apply with it. So this is the second half of the braid that I need to spin up next. And the first half is looking really good, but I'll just show you. So here's the second half. This is also on the rainbow cog fiber, so it's got these like rainbow neps in it. And I'm really, really excited to apply these together. And yes, I am also gonna be considering this a March spin. This is gonna be March spin number 2 because I've done most of the spinning in March. So yeah, so exciting spinning stuff going on here. So yeah, okay, that is the spinning update. Let me show you next my Shadowbox update. Ta-da! We need to do a shake. Okay, there we go. It's filling up. It looks like it's halfway full, but you know, it'll get compressed down. I feel like January stuff is already getting super compressed, but a lot of purple in here from my, that's both from my Midland cardigan, and there's some in there now from my shawl that I'm working on, my tank top, my sock, my yellow sock is in here. Can you even see that? Sorry if the glare is really bad. But yeah, I don't know, this is really fun to show you. So there you go, there's my shadow box. Okay, last update that I have for you is I want to show you my yarn enthusiast journal for the month of March. 2025 yarn enthusiast journals are still on the website knitcalifornia.com. I will say I am considering retiring the 2025 journals soon. I haven't made a final decision. If I do retire them, they will likely go on sale soon, probably here in the month of April. So if you're interested in getting a dated yarn enthusiast journal, look out for that sale, probably coming soon here. Okay, the undated versions will stay on the website for the full year. Okay, okay, March overview, here we go, and my weekly snapshot. So in terms of my March overview, I mean, I only casted on one project this month, which was my Diatom shawl. I only finished the one project this month, my Palm Springs tank. I've really been working through all of these whips. My Evermore socks, my Loch Ness cowl, my Midland cardigan, and these have been on my needles since February, the socks and the cardigan, the Loch Ness cowl since November. I really need to finish these. So stay tuned for my April plans because we gotta finish it April because these have been on the needles for way too long. In terms of my yarn stash, in and out, I had a lot of yarn come in this month. I purchased some yarn when I went up to Simi Valley for yarn appreciation weekend at the Knitting Lounge, which was a really fun event, and I'm super happy that I was able to go to that event. So I mean, when you're in person at a yarn shop, how can you resist buying some yarn? And I got some really interesting yarn blends that I'm really excited to test out, so I'm really happy about those. I also got some Knit Picks yarn in that I had ordered. I'm now a Knit Picks affiliate, which I know I've mentioned here on the podcast. So there's a link in the description box down below if you're ever interested in shopping Knit Picks. And when I got the link, I purchased a bunch of different skeins that I want to test out, swatch up. So I got all of that yarn in. Stay tuned, I want to show all of that yarn off, but I haven't had a chance to really go through that yet. And then I also got a special shipment in from Kimber's Cozy Creations. I can't share that yet, although this video is going to go live on Tuesday, which is when the colorway reveals for that collection will start. So if you're curious, go follow Kimber's Cozy Creations and you'll see the first colorway that I am teasing here. Okay? My weekly snapshot. I I kind of was tracking this week, these weeks, similar to how I was tracking in the month of February, where I was writing down pretty much everything that I had on the go and everything that I could possibly work on for the week. And then I was just checking off what I did finish during the week. So like, for example, this week currently, I wrote down, I had my Midland Cardigan button band and I divided it up into segments. So like 5 different segments, the up, the diagonal, the back, the diagonal, and the down. Divided that up into 5 different segments. I technically finished the first segment, although I'm probably gonna frog it. So next week, it'll look the same. My Evermore socks, the foot and the toe, which I finished both of. My Loch Ness cowl, I had repeat number 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. I finished 6 and 7. The Diatom cowl, sorry, that should say shawl. I wrote cowl because it was right next to Loch Ness cowl. Oh well. I had to cast on, again, the first cast on, because I had cast it on in DK weight and then I had to frog it. So I had to cast on again this week, and then I wanted to make it to the first eyelet section, which I did. And then I've also got my fiber in here, and I started on the purpley pink fiber, this one. And when I split up my fiber, I basically split it into quarters. So I did 2 of my quarters, so I'm halfway through. All right, my knitwear tracker, you can see I did pretty good this month with my knitwear tracker. I can't fully give you percentages and tell you what I wore the most because I can't tell you, I don't know what I'm gonna wear tomorrow. But so far, out of the 30 days, there's only 4 days that I did not wear a knit. And if I'm just looking at this, socks, obviously I wore the most. And then it looks like I wore my clove sweater a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah, that's a lot. I wore my Palm Springs tank 3 times. Number 2 twice, that's my cotton merino one, and then my new one once. Stripe pipe I wore 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Yeah. So those are my top hitters here in the month of March. And then in terms of like what I was tracking this month in my notes section, I was tracking the YouTube videos that I made, the knits that I want to finish before Scotland, which were my Palm Springs tank number 3, which I did finish, Palm Springs tank number 4, my Loch Ness cowl, my Midland cardigan, and my Diatom shawl. So I still got 4 knits on there that I need to finish. And then my next designs, which kind of have a mental block on what I want to work on as my next design. So I don't know. I've got like too many ideas and I can't really narrow it down, and yeah, just too many thoughts going on there. So, but yeah, that is the main update in my journal. I'll show you my bingo because that's one of my favorite pages here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 squares in the first 3 months. I think that's pretty good. One that I'm going to get to check off soon is knit something from my hand spun yarn. That's exciting. Knit a cardigan. If I ever finish this Midland cardigan, that is going to get checked off. Knit a colorwork project if I can finish my Colorwork cowl, my Loch Ness cowl. Use stash yarn from before 2024. That Ireland yarn that's in my Diatom shawl, I bought in 2023. So I've got a lot going on here that when I finish these projects, I'll be able to mark them off. So that's exciting. yeah, that's it. Those are the main updates there. Okay, so in terms of what is coming up in the month of April, I really need to get these projects off my needles. So my Loch Ness cowl needs to get done. It's going to get done. I only have 2 more repeats. My Midland cardigan, I need to finish this button band. I want to wear this cardigan not only like in spring, but I also want to bring it to Scotland, so like I need to get it done. And I want to knit a second one. I have already bought yarn to knit a second one. I think I mentioned this on the last my last episode. So even though this button band is like hurting my soul, I had a lot of fun with the rest of it, and so I really want to knit a second one. Hopefully the fit is really nice. If it's not, you know, I'll have the yarn to knit something else, I guess. This shawl, look, I'm loving working on it. I don't think I'm gonna have an issue finishing it. And then lastly, my next Palm Springs tank, which I'm going to be knitting up in this luxe alpaca linen silk. The one thing that I'm nervous about, I need to do a swatch because this yarn, I don't know if you can see it, it's not super stretchy, and the Palm Springs tank is meant to have some negative ease. So I think I'm going to need to knit this at least 1 size up, maybe knit the size 2XL. I gotta check my gauge, maybe need to go 2 sizes up, because like, I don't know, maybe I think 1 size up will probably be fine. If the yarn isn't going to stretch, you know, like that could be an issue. So we'll see. I almost cast this on yesterday, and then I was thinking about that, and I was like, this is gonna be an issue. So I need to swatch that, and then I need to knit it up relatively quickly because the test knit is supposed to end April 19th, and I want to get this done before April 19th. So yeah, so that's everything that I'm going to be working on in April. And if by some reason I finish all of this and need to cast something else on, I don't know what that's going to be. I have no idea. I don't know. You'll have to wait and see and find out. You'll have to follow along. I'm really enjoying making the podcast vlog chats over the weekends. It gives me an opportunity to like do a mini podcast and then also take you along over the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend, kind of show you what I'm working on while I'm working on it. I think it's a really fun format, so I hope you guys are enjoying those as well. And yeah, that's what the plan is for the rest of this next month. So I think that's all that I have for you today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Yeah, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!